To understand the equity theory of job motivation, let's take some common job situations. You get a job, and you get paid a certain amount of money. Is it enough money? Well, you come to the job with inputs. You have a college degree. You have some job experience, some skills. All of those are inputs that you put on your resume. And then there's what you get paid. Your job may also come with an office or a company car or a certain number of days off, and those are the outcomes. We compare what we feel we bring to the job to what it gives us. We compare our inputs to our outcomes. Now let's put some numbers to this. All of your experience and skills add up to, let's say, 50 inputs. Now, ideally, you get a job that gives you a pay and a benefits package that also adds up to about 50. The resulting fraction, 50 over 50, or 1. So being in an equitable situation results in you being satisfied and motivated to do your job well. Inequity results when you feel you bring 50 inputs and the job gives you only, say, 30 outcomes. It doesn't pay very well, let's say. You're being compensated less than what you feel is fair. So what do? You could get yourself a better paying job. That is, you get the numerator back up to 50. But let's say you can't find that job. So what do you do now? One thing you could do is convince yourself that your job is actually not that bad. You don't have the pay you want, but you do like your coworkers and you do have a nice office, so maybe it's worth it. The other thing we do is to compare ourselves to other people in the organization. So you look at your coworkers and you size them up. Does she have the same degree as I do? Does she have the same experience? When you do this, you could find that you believe there's someone who has what you think is the same denominator as you. She has the same inputs, but you find out that she's being paid more. She has higher outcomes, a higher numerator. Let's say she gets 100 outcomes. Now you're dissatisfied. You might be motivated to do something. You go to your boss. I understand that so-and-so is getting paid more, and I deserve that level of pay. You can try to raise your numerator. But suppose you can't get more money from the boss. Then what do? You can't change your degree, but you could change something else. You could lower how much effort you put into the job. You could also find yourself getting sick more often or taking more days off. You are, in effect, decreasing your inputs, the denominator, so that you again have what you perceive to be an equitable relationship. Suppose you can't work less hard because you might get fired. So now what do? You've got 50 over 50, the other person has 100 over 50. You can't get that person's pay decreased to 50, but you could make that person work harder. That is, try to raise the other person's denominator, their inputs. So how do you do this? You could try to get more tasks pushed to that person's inbox, to the point where now they have to put in the 100 in the denominator. Your agenda is, well, I'm not going to get that kind of pay, so I'm going to make that other person earn their pay. And equity is achieved again. This is Michael Britt, and you can learn more about motivation and psychology at www.thepsychfiles.com.
Created using Powtoon.